I never got a chance to say goodbye to Jamaica. And I think that's why I carry Jamaica so much in my heart, in my spirit, and in everything that I do, because I never had a chance to say goodbye. So that's why whenever you meet me, you see me, you meet Jamaica. Hi, my name is Sharon Gordon, and yes, I'm an immigrant from the island of Jamaica. My mother was an abused woman, and so not by my father, but by her husband. And so we lived that life. When you came inside the beautiful yard, and we had a beautiful, beautiful home, there was the domestic violence. And that's how we got to America, because my mother literally, she ran away. She took us all. We ran away. I can tell you the day, June 8th, can I say the year? June 8th, 1979. We had no idea we were coming to America. And so there came a time when she was, she made a plan, an escape. She hatched an escape plan. And unbeknownst to us, she came, she got us. We thought we were going to the market. That's what we were told. We got in a taxi, and the next thing you knew, we were at the Palisadas Airport. It's now called the Norman Manley International Airport, but it was the Palisadas Airport. Can you imagine how shocked we must have been? So I left school on a Friday, and this was a Saturday, the 8th of June. I never got a chance to say goodbye to my friends. I never got a chance to say goodbye to Jamaica. And I think that's why I carry Jamaica so much in my heart, in my spirit, and in everything that I do, because I never had a chance to say goodbye. So that's why whenever you meet me, you see me, you meet Jamaica. One of the biggest shocks for me, culture shock, and I had many culture shocks when I arrived in Brooklyn, New York. Whew. Arrived on a Saturday, like I said, and by Monday, my mother had me looking for work. And I've been working ever since. My mother practiced that Protestant work ethic. We went job hunting together. She taught me that. My mother was that person. She had this industrious nature. The weather to this day, all these years later, I still can't get used to the cold. I'll never get used to the cold. Those are just things and I think that's part of a resistance, some kind of internal resistance that the little Sharon, the 16-year-old Sharon who came here just hated. It was a rough winter that year. She hated it. She cried to go home. I think that part of my, coping mechanism when I arrived in America was leaning on all that had been poured into me when I was a little girl. By the time I was snatched away to America, that's all I had. Because at that time they used to call us coconuts, and they used to try to fight us and beat us up and tell us to go back where we came from. And I didn't understand that. And so that was a big culture shock for me, because I came from a place where we were proud and we had history and we had culture. And so I said, but this is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not somebody to walk around with my head down. I was taught down with mediocrity, up with excellence, and that chin up and go forward. And in Jamaica, we say we little, but we talawa. That means we might be small in stature, but we are big and great in spirit and all that we have to offer the world. In Jamaica, our motto is out of many, one people. The reason that is the motto is because Jamaica is like a mosaic. There are people from all over that settled into Jamaica, learning about Brother and Nancy, learning all the stories, the folk lore, the work songs that have become folk songs, and understanding the meanings behind them, the language of Patois, and learning Patois and embracing Patois. Patois was forbidden in my mother's household. We weren't supposed to speak Patois. Patois is a language that was frowned upon. And that's why it's ironic that my first book, if I may say that, Cherry Baby, I had to write it in Patois in honor of Miss Lou and this language that they forbade me from speaking. So I'm always telling stories, and people would say, well, when are you going to write your stories, Sharon? When are you going to write your stories? I wrote for a year, from March 2020 to March 2021, and I could not have done this book any other time, because all my ancestors came to me. Miss Lou was with me. Oh, yes. I wrote this book in Patois, in Jamaican dialect. Yes. And can you imagine how many people told me, don't do that, Sharon. You're so intelligent. Why would you write your book in because to let you understand, it's like saying Ebonics. It's like I'm writing in slang or broken English, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's what I learned. My culture was poured into me. And so my culture became something that I held on to. And it has been the North Star for me. Everything I do is about my culture and my people and celebrating this culture and this ability that we have to adapt. Because it was in adapting here, even though we were, foreigners in this land, we adapted and we created space for ourselves here in community.